Today, our question is, what are your feelings on intuitive eating?
You really want to know my feelings on intuitive eating? They're not very positive. When I first ran into this concept, like everything else, a little kernel of truth, a million years ago, our ancient ancestors in the caves, they didn't have nutritional guidelines or whatever. They looked around and they said, what can we eat? And so they ate what they intuited was healthy, was adequate to eat. Oh boy, it must have been some existence. And actually, it's one place they believe our taste evolved when our ancient ancestors intuitively grabbed this herb or dug up that root, and they took that first bite out of it. If it was bitter and sour, they spit it out. And it was probably a good idea because it probably had toxins in it. But when they ate the berries that were sweet, there was carbohydrates for energy, etc. And taste was originally a survival mechanism. They think, by the way, parenthetically, one reason women get morning sickness because they're so sensitive to toxins that may injure the baby, that if anything that is their foraging, anything that would make them at all nauseous, they would vomit it right out to protect the baby. It's actually a beautiful mechanism. And so the idea of the intuitive eating comes from those ancient times. Well, welcome to the 21st century. By the time people are old enough to make their own decisions about what to eat, by the time they're in high school or, and mom isn't putting food on the table, they have been eating for the past 12 or 15 years, especially if they go off to college, if they do, a diet that has been based on fast foods and chips and candies and soft drinks. Whatever original food preferences we have become so subverted, and the food is subverted. And the food industry has been fiendishly artistic in developing these hyper palatable foods that are just full of salt and sugar and oil, and they are so seductive. And the word addictive is a loaded word here, but it really, these foods create cravings, that's what the young person is really looking for. And there's a syndrome I know now that young people who are just eating these doughy, sugary, fatty, cheese-laden foods for their main food stream. When you talk about their intuitive eating, my fear is that this now just becomes a rationale for eating all the junk food you want. If that's what you've got that desire to eat, then that's instinctively what you should be eating. No, that means your tastes have been hijacked and it's no longer serving you. You have short-circuited the survival mechanisms in your brain and tongue, etc., that were put there so long ago, that instinctive eating in this 21st century fast food world not only has no health value, it's really an invitation to clogged arteries, diabetes, autoimmune diseases, leaky guts, all the calamities that come from the perversion that we've inflicted on our food stream here. So I would tell people, do not be seduced. As my friend Dr. John McDougall says, people love to hear good news about bad habits. And as instinctive eating falls right into, you like potato chips, good, you're instinctively told to eat them. No, you're instinctively eating them because that's what you've been doing for the past 15 years, but it does not mean they are healthy for you. So when it comes to the concept of instinctive eating in the 21st century, this doc gives it a big thumbs down. Eat your veggies. That's what we really should be doing. And when I say that, I'm talking about a whole food, plant-based diet with all the wonderful tastes and textures and nutrients that it contains. That's really what we should instinctively be drawn to. And that's what happens. The more you eat that healthy food, the more that's what you desire. So let that be your instinct, and you'll live a long, healthy life.
Hi, everyone. Dr. Michael Klaper here, announcing our new format for our Q&A with Dr. K. Annie Hagen will be asking me one question that's been sent in by our viewers. So if you want to see if your question is getting answered, do join us for our Q&A with Dr. K right here. Hope to see you then.